Dear students, in this video, we are going to discuss some of the most current affairs of recent days. So we have collected the most important current affairs and we have arranged them in a logical sequence, starting with international news, then domestic news, and then some state level news. So let's begin now. So the first news is from international arena. So Uzbekistan recently hosted Central South Asia Conference 2021. So this was held in the capital city of Uzbekistan. So what is capital of Uzbekistan? Tashkent. So what is the name of the conference? Central South Asia Conference 2021. So India was represented by our external affairs minister. So who is our external affairs minister? Who is the external affairs minister of India? So Dr. S. Jaishankar. So in this conference, there were delegates from over 40 countries and about 30 international organizations and other think tanks also participated. So you have to remember the name of the conference, who represented India, and the venue. So venue is Tashkent in Uzbekistan. So recently, Indian Navy and British Royal Navy or United Kingdom's Royal Navy participated in a 2-day bilateral passage exercise. So what is this passage exercise? So passage exercise are also known as PASSEX. So what is the concept of passage exercise? So suppose the you can say the vessel or the army vessel or the navy vessel of a country is passing through the you can say territory of another country. So in that case, if the two countries come together to conduct a joint military drill, that is known as PASSEX. So one country's navy was passing. So in and the other country also joined that. So this becomes passage exercise. So similarly, Indian Navy took part in a 2-day bilateral passage exercise with Royal Navy Carrier Strike Group CSG 21. So India was represented by this Navy Carrier Strike Force, whereas from the part of UK Navy, HMS Queen Elizabeth participated in this. Fine. What was the venue? Venue was Bay of Bengal. That means British Navy was passing through Bay of Bengal. Next question. INS Talwar. INS Talwar participated in exercise, joint military exercise known as Cutlass Express 2021. So where was this Cutlass Express 2021 held? So this was held on east coast of Africa. East coast of Africa. So name of the exercise Cutlass 2021, venue East coast of Africa. So this was basically held in Kenya city, Mombasa. So Mombasa is a port town. So you have to remember which Indian vessel participated in this. So Talwar, INS Talwar. INS means Indian naval ship. Next news also from defense. 12th edition of Indo-Russia joint military exercise known as Indira 2021 was recently held in Volgograd, Russia. So it will be easy for you to remember Indira. IND stands for India and RA stands for Russia. So Indira is the joint military exercise of India and Russia. So this was the 12th edition that or you can say the 12th time that such a military exercise was joint military exercise was taking place. What was the venue? Venue was Volgograd in Russia. So next news, Sweden have decided to join the International Solar Alliance. So Sweden has recently declared that it is going to become a part of International Solar Alliance. Now what is International Solar Alliance? So International Solar Alliance is, you can say, a collaborative group of various countries with an aim to promote renewable energy. So the aim is to promote renewable energy, especially the solar energy. So these countries have come together so that one country can help the other country develop through transporting the expertise, transporting infrastructure and all that. So now Sweden has joined International Solar Alliance. Now you must know something about International Solar Alliance, that it is a brainchild of India. So this is an initiative of India. So Modi government should be given the credit for establishing this International Solar Alliance. Fine. Now what is the headquarter? Where is the headquarter of International Solar Alliance situated? So headquarter, since it is an initiative of India, so the headquarter is also in India. So Gurgaon is the headquarter of International Solar Alliance. Let's move to next news. So next news from the world of science. World's first 3D printed steel bridge has been opened in Amsterdam. So where is Amsterdam? Amsterdam is the capital of Netherlands. Now you will ask, what is the concept of this 3D printed bridge? So 3D printed bridge is, the bridge is made up of millions and trillions of parts. So whenever the bridge is required, so whenever somebody is coming, the bridge is assembled on demand basis. So it is controlled remotely, it is controlled electronically. So let's suppose in the morning there is requirement of bridge, so bridge will be assembled. So all these millions of pieces will be assembled with a single press of a button, and this bridge is monitored electronically. So how many people are passing per second, what is the load on the bridge, what is the wear and tear of the bridge, so everything is monitored electronically. So this is the concept of 3D printed bridge. So 3D houses, 3D hotels, and now you have 3D printed bridge. So first 3D printed bridge opened in Amsterdam, which is the capital of Netherlands. Next news, Philippines has become the first country to approve the planting of golden rice. Now what is so special about this golden rice? So golden rice is basically a genetically modified rice. So what is the concept of genetically modified? So scientists make some changes in the genome. The purpose of making genetic modifications is so that to increase productivity per hectare and also to make it more pest resistant. So golden rice is a genetically modified rice. Now what is so special about this golden rice? So this rice contains 40% vitamin A. So 40% content of the rice is vitamin A. And you know how essential vitamin A is. So vitamin A, deficiency of vitamin A can cause night blindness. Night blindness. So vitamin A is very essential for your health, as well, especially for your health of your eyes. Next news, world's largest floating solar farm is coming up in Batam city in Indonesia. So where is the world's largest floating solar farm being established? In Batam city of Indonesia. So which group is constructing this? So Sunseap Group of Indonesia is assigned the task to build this. Next news, Rajnath Singh was recently on a 2 days tour to went on a 3 days tour to Tajikistan. So Tajikistan is a Central Asian country, you know. So why did he visit Tajikistan? Because in Tajikistan he had to attend a conclave of Shanghai Cooperation Organization. So this conclave was going on in the capital of Tajikistan. So what is the capital of Tajikistan? Dushanbe is the capital of Tajikistan. Fine. Now what is SCO or Shanghai Cooperation Organization? So it is a regional organization which have 8 member countries. So India, Pakistan, China, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, all these are member countries. Fine. So the SCO, as the name itself suggests, Shanghai. So China is the, you can say, the head of the group. Next news, Vice President of India. So who is the Vice President of India? Mr. M. Venkaiah Naidu. So he recently inaugurated and addressed the World University Summit. So World University Summit was held virtually, but it was inaugurated by Mr. M. Venkaiah Naidu, and this was organized by OP Jindal Global University. So dear student, before proceeding any further, I would like to request to you that if you have not yet subscribed to the Vidya Guru's YouTube channel. So please do so. It's a humble request. And you I would also like to request you that please press the bell icon so that in future whenever we upload these kind of videos which are beneficial for you, so you immediately get a notification. Now dear students, since you are watching these kind of videos, so it gives me a strong feeling that you must be preparing for some competitive exams. So whatever competitive exams you are preparing for, so Vidya Guru can prove to be your best companion on your path to success. Because for past 10 to 12 years, Vidya Guru has produced consistent result in various competitive exams such as SSC, CGL. If you talk about bank exams, then IBPS, PO exams, also in state level service commission exams. So whichever exam you are preparing for, so you will find that Vidya Guru has a specially designed course for you. Now, how is Vidya Guru better than others? Now, let me explain to you. So, if you will look at Vidya Guru's course of last year and this year, you will see that they are not the same. So, we update our courses each and every year so that our syllabus or the pattern is always abreast, always up to date. So, if you compare with other institutes, so other institutes, what course material they were providing in 2016, same material you will see in 2021 also. So that way Vidya Guru takes much of your load. So you don't have to worry about syllabus, you don't have to worry about latest pattern. So we have different type of courses for you, pen drive courses, online courses. So everything is whichever exam you are preparing for. So please visit our website at least once so you can have all the information that you want here. So next news is a good news for India. So Dholavira has been inscribed on the UNESCO World Heritage Site. So where is Dholavira situated and what is its significance? So Dholavira is basically a Harappan era city located in Gujarat. Fine. So Harappan city. So this is almost, you can say, 4,500 or something, almost like 4,000 years old city. So keeping in mind its historical importance, so this city of Dholavira has been conferred the tag of UNESCO World Heritage Site. So you have to remember the name of the township and the location. So Dholavira in Gujarat. So apart from Dholavira, UNESCO have also granted World Heritage status to Kakatiya Rudreswara Temple, also known as Ramappa Temple. So Kakatiya Rudreswara Temple, also known as Ramappa Temple, is situated in Warangal in Telangana. Now you would be worrying or you would be curious to know that what is the concept of UNESCO World Heritage Site. So let me explain to you. Before that, what is UNESCO? So UNESCO is one of the 6 important organs of United Nations. So UNESCO stands for United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization. So basically this organ is devoted to promote human culture, human art, human civilization, to preserve everything that represents human civilization. So headquarter of UNESCO is located in Paris. So Paris is the capital of France. Now we just saw that two important landmarks of India were conferred the title of World Heritage status. What is the concept of World Heritage status? So World Heritage status landmarks are protected. Suppose now Indian government wants to do any sort of construction, so it will have to notify UNESCO, because this heritage is no more only limited to India. It is a world heritage now. So it is a common property of all human beings. So apart from that, the maintenance, the security and all will be funded by UNESCO. So that is the concept of UNESCO World Heritage Site. Now, after including Dholavira and Kakatiya Rudreswara Temple, there are a total of 40 landmarks in India which are provided the status of World Heritage, which are granted the status of World Heritage Sites. The maximum number of World Heritage Sites is in Maharashtra. So, these kind of questions are very important, World Heritage Sites. Now, moving to next one. Some state news now. So Telangana CM Mr. KCR have recently launched a scheme known as Dalit Bandhu scheme. So this scheme was launched in a village in Nalgonda district. So this scheme was launched from Nalgonda district. Now what is Dalit Bandhu scheme? So Dalit means downtrodden section of the society. So this scheme is meant for scheduled caste families. So each and every scheduled caste family of the state, there are certain criteria such as poverty line. So each and every scheduled caste family which lives below poverty line will get rupees 10 lakh each under this scheme. So name of the scheme is Dalit Bandhu scheme. Which state government? So Telangana state government. What is the purpose of this scheme? The purpose of this scheme is to provide rupees 10 lakh to each Dalit family so that they can start their own employment. They can become self-employed. Next news. Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment has recently launched a scheme known as SMILE. Now what does SMILE stand for? S for support, M for marginalized, I for individuals, L for livelihood, and E for enterprise. So SMILE scheme stands for support for marginalized individuals, for livelihood and enterprise. So marginalized section. So this scheme is basically targeted towards rehabilitation of beggars and transgenders. So, providing them shelter, providing them food, employment. So question will be, SMILE scheme is an initiative of which ministry? So Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. What is the target group? Which section of the society is it meant for? So beggars and transgenders. Next news, Union Cabinet has approved the setting up of first central university in Ladakh. There was no central university in Ladakh. So to do so, Central University Act 2009 was introduced. So with the help of introduction of this act, a new university was announced in Ladakh. So it is a central university, the first central university in Ladakh, and it is going to cost rupees 750 crore to the exchequer. Next news, recently Chief Minister of Karnataka has been changed. So who was the Chief Minister of Karnataka? B.S. Yedurappa was the Chief Minister of Karnataka, but he resigned on 26th July 2021. So he is the politician of BJP party, Bharatiya Janata Party. So now B.S. Yedurappa resigned and he was replaced by the new Chief Minister. So the new Chief Minister is B.S. Bommai, Baswaraja S. Bommai. So Baswaraja Bommai is the new Chief Minister of Karnataka. So both these politicians belong to BJP party, Bharatiya Janata Party, and both belong to the Lingayat community. So questions are also asked that where do you find Lingayat community, which state? So Karnataka state. So Karnataka has a huge population of Lingayat. Next question. Recently, President Mr. Ramnath Kovind have appointed Anandiben Patel as the governor of Madhya Pradesh. So you have to remember something, that Anandiben Patel is already serving as the governor of Uttar Pradesh. She is already the governor of Uttar Pradesh and she has now been given the charge of governor of Madhya Pradesh as well. So for some time she was given the additional charge of Madhya Pradesh, but now she is the full-time governor of Madhya Pradesh. So she is at the same time one person can be governor of more than two states. So these type of questions are also asked in polity. So you have to remember all this. Next question, next news is from Northeast. So Amit Shah, Central Home Minister, Mr. Amit Shah have recently inaugurated Greater Sohra Water Supply Scheme in Meghalaya. So this scheme is meant for the state of Meghalaya. Where is it actually situated? Real location is Cherrapunji in Meghalaya. So what is this scheme all about? So this scheme will provide 70 lakh gallons of drinking water every day to the common household of Meghalaya. And apart from that, it will provide an additional 15 lakh gallons per day to the schools and Anganwadi. So basically, it is a scheme to supply water to the household and other important government installation. You have to remember the name of the scheme, Sohra Water Supply Scheme, and you have to remember the name of location. Maybe Meghalaya is mentioned, or if Meghalaya is not mentioned, Cherrapunji will be mentioned. So you have to remember Cherrapunji in Meghalaya. Next news, Chief Minister of Assam. So who is the Chief Minister of Assam? Mr. Himanta Biswa Sarma is the Chief Minister of Assam. So he recently inaugurated the Bamboo Industrial Park. So Bamboo Industrial Park was inaugurated by the Chief Minister of Assam at Mander Disa village in Dima Hasau. Now what is the concept of Bamboo Industrial Park? So at the same location, cultivation of bamboo would be done, and small scale industries which are based on bamboo like paper making, toy making, all those will be also set up at the same location. So that is the concept of Bamboo Industrial Park. Next news, Madhya Pradesh government has launched a new scheme known as Devaranya Yojana. So Aranya means forest. So this scheme is basically meant to serve two purposes. The first purpose is to provide employment to the tribal community. So tribal community lives in jungles, forest. The second purpose that it will serve is to promote the supply chain of Ayurvedic product. Now how these two things can be done together? So tribal people, they live in jungle, and Ayurvedic product, they require different trees, leaves, seeds, all that stuff that are produced in jungle. So if these tribal people are involved in making of this Ayurvedic product, so tribal people will be given employment, and it will also boost the supply chain of Ayurvedic product in the state. So Madhya Pradesh government Devaranya Yojana meant for what? There can be two options: tribal employment as well as boosting the supply chain or the productivity of Ayurvedic products. Next news, a bit unfortunate news. So recently, two states, Assam and Mizoram, so these two are neighboring states. So a clash, very ugly clash was seen between the people of these two states. Now what was the reason behind the clash? Border dispute, a very old border dispute. So a land which is claimed by both the states. So Kachar district. So this ugly incident took place in Kachar district of Assam. So Kachar district lies on the border of Manipur. So there is a patch of land which is disputed between both Assam and Mizoram. So you have to remember this border dispute took place between Assam and Mizoram, in which 5 Assam policemen were killed, unfortunately. So very unfortunate incident. Hope this never repeats in future. Next news, Max Bupa Health Insurance have rebranded itself as Niva Bupa. That means the word Max has been replaced by Niva. Why? Because the Max Group have pulled out its investment from Bupa. So Max and Bupa have come together to form a Max Bupa Health Insurance. So Max Group have pulled out its insurance. So it makes no more sense to retain the name Max. So Max name have been replaced by Niva. So that's all you have to remember. Nothing. Don't go into much deep. Now let's move forward. Rakesh Asthana has been recently appointed as the new police commissioner of Delhi. So since Delhi is the capital of India, so this becomes very important news. Mr. Rakesh Asthana is a senior IPS officer of Gujarat cadre. He also served as a special director in CBI for some time. Next news, recently AIFF have announced the Footballer of the Year award. Now, what is AIFF? AIFF stands for All India Football Federation. So, just like BCCI takes care of cricket, so AIFF takes care of all the football sports taking place in our country. So, AIFF have recently declared Footballer of the Year. So, in male category, Footballer of the Year was Sandesh Jhingan. In female category, this award was given to Bala Devi. So if somebody asks who is awarded the Footballer of the Year in male category, Sandesh Jhingan. In female category, Bala Devi. Now, next news. Pramod Bhagat have been named as Differently Abled Sports Person of the Year for the year 2019. So Pramod Bhagat, so which sport is he associated with? So he is a shuttler. That means he plays badminton, para badminton, because he is differently able. You can see. So differently able. So differently able sports person of the year award has been given to Mr. Pramod Bhagat. He is associated with the game of badminton. So dear student, that was all in this week. So we will very soon come up with the next videos on current affair, and in that video we will include all the updates from Tokyo Olympic. What all medals have been won by India in which sport, which category. So everything will be included in the next video that we would be uploading. So if you have not yet subscribed to Vidya Group, please do so, because we keep on uploading these videos, current affair videos, for your benefit on a regular basis. So please subscribe to our channel, and if you like this video, please hit the like button. If you do not like this video, please tell in the comment section how we can improve, or if you want us to make a video on any one particular topic, so please do so in your comment box. Please pour in your opinions in the comment box, and please do subscribe to our channel.